Wondering how watercolor artist paints on a paper? How these beauties were painted and preserved longer by the quality of the paper? Why there is no wrinkle or any hole on the paper at all? How can you not ruin a paper when you use watercolor? Can we use ordinary paper? What paper is the best for watercolor painting? Oh, those questions we will find out here. Welcome to Artist Series Watercolor Painting for Beginners Part 3. Let's all talk about papers. Hello there! Yan, ako naman sa inyong teacher Lori or Lori MV channel. Ngayon, iila lang ating pagiging art teacher. Because of that, I will present to you some of the materials I'm using whenever I do art, especially watercolor art or watercolor painting. So aside from the brushes and the paints, of course in watercolor, it is very important to choose the right paper. So for the right paper, we need a watercolor paper. Watercolor paper should be cold pressed and it should be 100% cotton. It should be acid-free, it should be heavyweight, it should be for finished artwork and wet media. I bought this in Jerry Bookstore and during that time it was just 56. Yeah, it was just 56 real. I don't know now if it's still 56 real. Okay. So the size of this is 12 inches by 18 inches. The watercolor paper which I bought is, the brand is Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolor paper. So this is a watercolor block. It is a block because, see, it is like with glue. It is bounded together. It's with a glue on both upper and lower part. So you just have to, I just took this off kasi tapos na ako. But then again, if you're going to start again for a new artwork, you just let it be stuck with this. Let it be binded with this glue. So that your paper will not crumple or paper will not wrinkle. Kasi when you put a lot of water, most especially if you want that kind of effect, like you're gonna use wet on wet technique, it needs to be bounded. Oh, it's also bounded here on both sides. In all sides, it is bounded. Okay, it's with a glue, dry glue. That's why you just have to peel it off if you're done. Okay? So, marami siya. Ayan. Nagkaroon ng watercolor lang. Ayan. So, this one is, yan, 140 pounds with 300 GSM. Tama-tama. 300 GSM is a desirable thickness of paper for watercolor. Okay? It is also cold pressed. So, it has 20 shades and the size is 12 by 9 inches. It is highly recommended and approved by the Royal Institute of Painters in Watercolors. Okay, so this is watercolor block. It is made in France, and I bought it way back, and the price is 48 real. Ayan. So it's 100% acid free. It's cold pressed. Okay. Okay, this one is a little bigger. The size is 16 by 12 inches. And this just the same, it has 300 GSM, or the thickness of the paper. It talks about the thickness of the paper. It has 20 sheets also, but it's kind of bigger, okay, compared to this one. This is just 12 by 9, and this is 16 by 12 inches. So it's quite bigger. And just the same, it is also bounded here on all sides. See, there's a glue there, so you cannot just take it out. So again, it is made in France, Winsor & Newton. So let's read the Winsor & Newton range of Cotman. So it's a trademark. Watercolor pads and blocks are produced using fine quality acid-free mold-made paper to ensure maximum stability. Cotton paper has a natural whiteness and is both internally and externally sized. This sizing ensures even absorption, gives brilliance of color, and facilitates removal of art masking fluid. Kasi in watercolor, there are there is this what we call the art mask or the masking fluid, where it's like a glue that you will apply on the paper, and then you're gonna apply the color that you want, and it blocks, the watercolor, and you're just going to use it if you have some parts that you don't want to color using watercolor. You don't want to, have, you're going to use a different kinds of color on that spot, so you just have to use the masking fluid to cover that. You can also cover that using a masking tape. Okay. Ayan. So it comes with different sizes actually. Okay. So it also comes in spiral or made by, the brand is Art Made. Okay, the next one, the brand is Art Made. It's also watercolor cold press paper. The size is smaller, 8 by 8, 12 sheets, and 300 grams also, or GSM. 140 pounds. So mabigat talaga ang watercolor paper. So excellent for watercolor techniques. It is also acid free. Oh, this is for my kid. She used it when she was, I think, 5 years old. She had plenty of artwork. Ito makonti na lang. Isa na lang pala. One is a spiral watercolor paper. It's also just the same Strathmore brand. And Strathmore brand is also a very good watercolor paper. So this is smaller than the other one that I showed you earlier. Ayan. So this is 34 real. I think in the Philippines it's even cheaper. Ayan. This one I used when I was starting. So look at this. Look at this work. I still don't know the techniques in watercolor. That's why I just use it like when I was in elementary. Ayan. I was in a park and I was copying the trees. This was the first, one of the first works I did. And I saw some sand dunes. Ayan, okay. So this one, one of the first I made. I learned how to use the wet on wet technique. And then I practiced my calligraphy skills, which was not really good because this was way back, I think 2014. It's a cheaper kind of watercolor paper I bought in the Philippines, but still, ayan. It's not thick as the others, but it's thick talaga yan. It's a watercolor paper. It's 100% cotton. My kid did this one. So there you have it. So next vlog, I will be starting to talk about different kinds of watercolor techniques. Okay, so till next time, see you around, and stick with us by subscribing at this channel, Lori MV channel, to learn more about watercolor painting. Thank you so much for watching this video, and God bless you all. Subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you'll get an updated video from us. Thank you.